A lot of people ask me about the story behind Prestige Academy. What inspired me to create it? The story behind it is actually the meeting of two paths. The first path is my passion and love for education and my desire to contribute to the Muslim community. The second path was my quest to choose the best educational avenue for my own daughter. These two paths met, leading to the creation of Prestige Academy. As parents, we all have one thing in common. We want the best for our kids, not only in education, but in everything. Yet education holds a special position. A good education is the springboard for success in many other important aspects of life, such as pursuing a college degree, earning a stable income, and being a tool for starting and supporting a family. Also, a good education often leads to the attainment of a higher status. By status, I'm not referring to financial status, but status in general, being respected and honored for the amount of knowledge one holds. A lot of people try to put this down as if it were something shallow, but in reality, even in Islam, the ones held in highest esteem after the prophets, alayhimussalam, are the scholars. These are all individual benefits. On a larger scale, if the Muslim community as a whole emphasized and pursued quality education, we would probably see that as a whole we would start to rise out of our current state. But we're not talking about only secular education here, because success for the Muslim individual and community is contingent on much more than that. I'm talking about education in three: in the secular field, the Islamic field, and the personal field. At Prestige Academy, I've compartmentalized them into three: intellect, character, and faith. Knowledge and development in all three areas is needed to become a truly educated, well-rounded individual. Education in one department without the others leads to a lopsided outcome. We must cultivate all three areas of education if we want to maximize our talents and improve ourselves. With these elements in mind, I created Prestige Academy by examining the three current methods of education for Muslims: public schooling, Islamic schooling, and homeschooling. Every parent is an advocate for their method of choice, but the reality is that there are benefits and drawbacks to each method. What I decided to do was research each one and talk to parents, teachers, and students participating in all three, and find out what these benefits and drawbacks are. And then I glean the benefits while eliminating the negatives. But why do all this in the first place? Why create the ultimate educational solution for Muslims? The need for a solution implies that there's an existing problem. I wouldn't call it a problem, I would call it a crisis. Education for young Muslims today is in crisis. The goal for many parents is to see their child graduate and have the opportunity to pursue a college education. But what I want to draw your attention to is what is happening along the way. First, we have Muslims in public schools who are obtaining a higher quality education, comparatively speaking, but whose Muslim identity is being marred. Muslims are struggling to survive the social atmosphere of public schooling, oftentimes at the cost of their morality and identity. I know most parents don't want to hear that, but the reality is that a person can only truly know the dilemma facing these students and how much they are pressured into compromising if one has been in that situation, and I have. Those are the Muslims in public schools. Secondly, we have the Muslims in Islamic schools, whose secular education is suffering with the social waters becoming almost as murky as those of public schools. We have Muslims coming and going at a rapid pace, with many having been removed from public schools and put into Islamic schools because of their moral deterioration. We many times have underqualified teachers and an overall lack of professionalism, organization, and accountability on the part of administration. Schools are overcrowded and the tuition rates are backbreaking. Finally, we have the few families who have sought a solution through homeschooling, but with many worrying and wondering if traditional homeschooling is really a long-term solution or merely a temporary fix. What will happen when my child gets older and I'm no longer able to teach them, mothers often wonder. What happens when it's time for calculus or chemistry? Thus, we have reached a crisis, and as you can see from each scenario, it's all about sacrifice. But not the commendable sort of sacrifice. It's all about bad, painful sacrifice. The kind of sacrifice that causes loss. No matter which type of education Muslim parents choose, there is a loss. Whether it's the loss of Islamic identity and morals, the loss of a quality education in an effort to save those morals, or the loss of an education that promises a long-term platform for seeking secular knowledge. Now let's go back to the reason I started Prestige Academy, or one of the reasons, which was my quest to find the ideal education for my own daughter. After doing the research in each educational avenue, I discovered that none of them were ideal. As a matter of fact, each one had glaring problems that caused me to rethink this whole thing from a more creative, ground-up approach. Realizing that there are plenty of conservative Christian groups in the U.S. who have similar sentiments about public and their own Christian schools, I decided to take a look at what their creative solutions have been. What I discovered was remarkable. A network of professional, legitimate, online-based schools for Christians existed. Even some secular schools existed in this format. These schools use cutting-edge technology as a medium for teaching, which made learning way more engaging and flexible for students. Yet these schools didn't lack the structure of traditional schools. Most importantly, these schools were legitimate, recognized schools that had the ability to reward graduates with their high school diplomas. Even more importantly, colleges not only recognized these graduates and their diplomas, but actually desired to recruit and accept them. What I was looking at was the blueprint for the ultimate educational solution for Muslims. So since then, I've been at work with my blueprint in hand, creating and building the ultimate high school for Muslims. Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed Prestige Academy by enabling it to reach its opening. We have exceptionally qualified instructors and cutting-edge technology. The technology we are using is identical to that used in universities, enabling students to have their own personalized homepage that provides a gateway to classes, announcements, exam dates, and assignments. Parents will have their own homepage as well, so they can see their child's grades and upcoming exams and progress. There will also be a student forum for studying and moderated socializing. Parents and teachers alike are going to love this program because it's exciting, efficient, easy, organized, and affordable. You may be wondering what the catch is. How can Prestige Academy promise such a high-quality program with so many qualified teachers and such amazing technology at a tuition rate less than Islamic schools? It's because whatever you pay for your child's tuition gets funded right back into your child's education. There are no utility bills or masjid expenses to pay. It's all being allocated for your child's direct benefit. So long story short, there is no catch because your child's tuition money is going to be spent on your child's education, your child's technology, your child's teachers. No strings attached, which is why the quality of our academy is so amazing. It's going to be awesome and will exceed your expectations, inshallah. Another great thing about Prestige Academy is the amount of flexibility it provides. Students can work according to their own personal and family schedule, keeping in mind teacher-designated deadlines, of course. Families can travel, your teenager can get a job or help more at home, or even just spend more quality time with you and your family. Your son or daughter can attend Jummah with you and your family on Friday. One other really neat thing that schooling with Prestige Academy offers is the chance for your son or daughter to graduate high school at an earlier age than normal. Your child's wings won't be clipped to be held back with the flock of his or her age group, as is the case with public or Islamic schooling. Because students work at their own pace, a student at Prestige Academy can get their diploma years ahead of his or her peers and enroll in a college ahead of them as well, ultimately offering him or her a head start and an opportunity to outshine everyone else. That brings me to the next point, which is that students can get their high school diploma with Prestige Academy. Our courses are centered around core requirements for graduation for American public high schools, so your child won't be missing any elements that an American public school would provide. Actually, we offer way more than what an American public school provides. Just check out our course catalog. In the end, what I'm most proud of is that Prestige Academy provides young Muslims with a complete, legitimate education, one without sacrifices. Parents no longer have to face the pain of seeing their child's education be riddled with loss. Young adult Muslim men and women at Prestige Academy will rather have an education filled with gains and growth, one that will provide a springboard for them to be successful in every aspect of their lives and an opportunity to lead others to greatness. I hope, inshallah, to see your son or daughter as a student this fall at Prestige Academy, and I look forward to hearing about the remarkable changes it brings, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.